Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the wheat field. How y'all doing? It is Friday. Yes, come on in here. I hope y'all done got up. Y'all off to the day. Y'all are on the way. Your girl is so excited. Ha! We won to 100, y'all. I'm so excited. Can we get that 1 week today? Can we get it? How about a couple of extra ones? We'll take all the ones that the Father want to bring on over here to this here space. Welcome. This is your girl, La T. Yes, La T. I am a channeled messenger, sitting with the Most High God, yes, the source of all, that created all, using His infinite intelligence. Yes, the infinite intelligence comes to speak to us too. We are tapped into the all, y'all. Yes, we have also been studying on how we use this breath of life. Yes, the force. Ooh, don't tell nobody. We on some Star Wars, y'all. We trying to be like Yoda. Yes, using that breath of life. Come on in here, Father. Yes, are you here? Yes, beloved. I'm telling y'all, we have a good time over here. Sometimes it be thick. It be like that cold Crisco, you know what I'm saying? That back in the day when you had to scoop it out the can and throw it in the pan and then get the heat on it, because the Most High come in and throw his heat on it. And we sure enough get to cooking. He be done drop some nuggets in there for us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They get to going. And then sometimes it be real thick, real slow. You know, like cooking a good old, big old pot of chili. It's getting cold outside. You know how you have to put that thing in a big old pot or in a crock pot and just let it just steep and stew all day long. Yeah, so we can get them flavors in there. It's like real slow, or like a pot roast, something thick and hearty that we gonna kind of chew on. So it just depends on what the source wants to do. It really is. And we are linked on and surrendered to that, yes. Because the Father lives. And the Father breathes. Yes, and He lives and breathes in you. Yes, He does. And He also inhabits the throne still. That kingdom throne. Yeah, it's in the kingdom. And He sits on the throne of, did He say the throne of praise? Ha! So we praise Him anyway. We praise Him every day. That's my fur baby. Sasha, stop it. Now, she like to come on over here when we get to go, when the source wants to come in and sit with us. And I mean, source is always here, but when source is speaking, she like to come on over here and, do her little thing. I think she got a Bastet spirit on her. That's just what I say. I don't know if that's all the way true. Source says, yeah. We'll leave that there. Anywho, source says praise Him anyway. Don't matter what the circumstance is, because if you hear and you underneath the sound of this here voice, oh, you are overcomer. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And source says that it will bring you through. And we got some stuff to talk about, y'all. We do. And I don't even know if we got out all the right cards. We probably don't. We don't. We just jumped in here and just started going. We know the text that we're going to be looking from. Yeah, Spirit already said that. But if we going to get some cards out too, because we got cards, we got crystals, we got text, we got all kind of scripture. We got just about, source wants to speak, it speaks. And it called creation by its infinite intelligence. Yes, its word, yeah, the principal thing. It did. And so considering that, it left its word on everything. Everything. Like all of creation has a word from the source. And we look at everything so that the source can speak and give us its wisdom. Yes, it give us some little source secrets. Yes, source secrets. So we went down there and we talked about the 8 wonders yesterday. We always say the 8 wonders of earth. And then we start naming all this stuff on the outside, which I think is a whole thing. Why is we looking on the outside for the wonder when it's all right here? Not, onto ego for self. Oh, no. But just the wonder of the Most High. Like, how do my eyes work, Father? Like, how do they really don't pick up any visual, but yet I can see all of you in creation? How does my nose and my sensory and my taste buds, how do they work together? Because, when I smell it, you could pretty much taste it. That is magnificent, Father. How do you do that? How does my ears work, Father? When I wonder, like, how do we take out these sound waves and frequencies and resonance and we turn them into a diverse language with all kinds of dialects that we all can understand? I mean, like, how is the word mom pretty much mama all over the plane? Like, that is amazing to me. You know, the fact that I could feel things that are so subtle and so slight, like can barely even touch my skin. I could feel it before you even touch me. That is amazing to me, Father. Ooh, creation itself has a feeling when the wind blows and I could feel it across this here flesh. It is wonderful. It is a wonder that we can do that. It's a wonder that I have emotions in my heart and I can get sad. I mean, just to be depressed is a wonder. Anxiety is a wonder. Something for me to wonder about and discover why am I feeling that way. When you give me intuition and I get those ideas from you, Father, woo, and they come into my heart space and it gives us confidence that we can jump out there and do that thing. Where did that come from, Father? I wonder about that. And the fact that all of creation experiences, you know, and grows, and the fact that I can connect with all of my other wheat out here and we can see the same, we can feel the same. I mean, just digging into how you see colors. I mean, you see me wearing a black dress, but why? That is a wonder, beloved. So we don't lean on to the outside world. We can look right on here at the source's greatest creation, which is the human vessel in this plane, and put some wonder on that. I mean, we are called for good bread. I mean, are you going to wonder about what you could do? Or are you going to place the wonderment on what you do? Like all the time. I mean, like, so let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. We are still in this book, y'all. One of my beloveds asked me about law number 9. And I was like, we talked about it on the channel. Come on over here and visit. Yes, come on in here. We talking about the 48 laws of power, y'all. Finally got this book. I love it. I love it. Today we on law number 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. What? Come on, let's get that in here. Can y'all see that? Just let you have it, just like that. So just in case you want to take a little screenshot, you got that. Judgment. You can die from somebody else's misery. Did you ever hear, what did they say? Misery loves company. Ooh. That also talks about the fallen too, isn't that, Father? Yes, because see, the fallen is here and they have been condemned from heaven and they cannot enter into the gates of the upper realms. They cannot. They've been condemned down to this low place. And then here in this place, they roam to and from, seeking those who they can devour. Yeah, they do. They do, beloved. And guess what? Misery loves company. It sure do. Yes, yes, misery loves company. So when we say, you got to watch the company that you keep. Yeah, that's real. Let me get this sip. Okay, before we jump on in here. I should have refilled my cup because we ain't got too many more sips up in there. I'm telling you, it's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't do. But guess what we did do? We did pray and we did meditate. We did. We got into touch with the spirit. But the rest of it, it'll work itself out. That's a part of the uncertainty of wisdom. Yeah, the intellect. Uncertainty built in. And guess what? It doesn't matter how I go about it because it's going to come about anyway. Because the source is doing this. It ain't me. Well, maybe it was me that forgot to get the stuff, huh? Yeah, but it's all good. Anywho, let's jump back in here. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. Yes, yes it is. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. So hanging around miserable people will infect you. It will. Oftentimes we think that we could be the light in a dark space, but oftentimes that light gets overtaken by the darkness. Yeah. And I think that is a part of the issue of when we come here and we take on conformity. Because we come in as lights from heaven to do a work, but we come in as babes, you know, dependent on those stewards, our parents, supported by the resources in our environment. And depending on what you're raised in, that misery, yeah, it can smother your light. It can. And you can lean your light, and your light can get engulfed by the darkness, is what I feel. Because, you know, your light is still there, but can you be engulfed? Yeah. You know, you can become so saturated and so conformed that you see to shine, like your lumens aren't strong enough to really shine in the way that they need. And to go to the Father and ask for the Father to strengthen you and to brighten and illuminate you is a self-discovery process that you often need to go off and do. You're not able to really do that, especially if you're in an environment with people who are miserable or unhappy, or it seems like, you know, they always have bad luck. Like, it's something about that. It really is. And it's infectious. Just the same way that joy and good attitude is contagious, it is. You come in there and you could really lend into, you know, a room and be like, hey, everybody, and then you know, you can help brighten them up. But if you stay in that, beloved, it wears you out. It does. Because people are sucking from your light and you're giving it. And those people who are unhappy and miserable give on to you at a very, very little pace. And it diminishes your ability to maintain your light. Your light starts to diminish and wane because you are giving it out in such access and may not be having it fed back onto self. To do that work, you have to stay deep in meditation and all of that, and that is heavy. That is heavy. That is heavy. And it's not a lot of people called to do that. So as a law and as a principle, avoid unhappy and unlucky people. Hey, I'm coming into a space, and if I could feel that your energy is like, it's like, oh, I got to go. It's time to, okay? Because no. See, those who are seeking the light will come with a way of accepting and caring for, valuing that light, I feel. And if your light ain't being valued, it's time to move around. Come on here. You may feel you are helping a drowning man, but you're only precipitating your own disaster. Yeah, you only draining yourself. You may think that you're helping a drowning man, but you're not. You only drowning yourself. You know, you creating your own disaster because you're gonna weaken you by giving out all your lumen and all your light without being fed or valued. Yeah. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune onto themselves, catching other people's karma because you in the environment. Yeah, that's that wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, that wasn't even meant for you. Yeah, that thing wasn't meant for them. Yeah, wrong place at the wrong time. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Yeah, again, what are you associated with? What have you got yourself attached to? Yes, because all of that will hit you. Yeah, it will. Associate yourself with the happy and fortunate instead. That's law number 10. Associate yourself with the happy and fortunate instead. Come on here with this, Father. Did you want? Yeah, because we had another page that we marked down. I'm about to close the book. Father said, what you doing? You see, we got our notes. We studying this thing. Yeah. Spirit says, the keys to power. We talked about it being easy to take on conformity. We come into this plane as babes. You are light. Your spirit is full grown. So all of this, you need to be raised like a child. No, you don't. Your spirit is full grown, and you've been through this multiple lifetimes. It knows. It has an awareness. And it knows when you next to something that you shouldn't be. It knows that when you around things that are not calling you to your highest good, it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you uneasy. And it makes the relationships with those people uncomfortable and uneasy. It's pushing you to do something different. And the lessons in that, beloved, get harder and harder and harder the longer you refuse to be response able, to use your ability to respond, to take the cues from your vessel, because your vessel is telling you what it is that you should do in order to continue to journey and to hold on to your peace. I hear her in my head. I gotta hold on to my peace. Cause from somebody once it's all. Yeah, Spirit won't let me sing them other words because that part is not true. Nobody takes my peace. I may give it away, but I can recall it. I can reclaim it. Yes, I recall it because my peace belongs to me. It's mine. And anything that's energetically mine, oh, I call it. I claim it. I'll pull it back. We talked about another secret of the source from the source. Did you know that you can call back your seed? Like the energy of your seed, like every seed that you've ever spent, you can call it back. I go in there, I wouldn't care if it was a head wrap that I just bought. Thank you so much. You can have the paper, but I want the energy, the currency of my seed back. Oh, yes. I take that right on back with me. Oh, yeah. Keep it flowing. Yes, you do. You can do that. So any seed that you've ever sown anywhere, call it back. It belongs to you. You are the owner and the sower of that seed, and you can call it back. Yes, you can. Come on and try it with me right now. Holy Father, the whole Father, we come to you right now. We come to you. And we come to you as humbled servants, willing to do the will of the Father, so that heaven, as it has already touched earth. This earth, the flesh, yes. Heaven resides within. And as heaven resides within, heaven has come to earth to do the will of the Father. I surrender this earthly, fleshly vessel onto the Father so that his will may be done. Please come in, Holy Father, and bless this message. Keep me safe as we deliver it. Keep it free, ban out and banish any energy that will come against this message, that would distort or disillusion me, myself, for edification unto the source, your wheat, for them, their edification, back onto you, Father, the source. And as we unite in this purpose to be edified, we ask that you bless us so that we may edify you, Father, in our unity. Protect us. Seal out anything that will come against us to distort, to conform, or disillusion. Help us as we remove the conformities that have been placed on us, those that we know and those that we know not. We use our spiritual language, our spiritual voice, to say and to pray the words that we have not known to say. You could feel it in our heart that we have been attached to something that is unlucky and unhappy. And we seek to detach from that, Holy Father, and let ourselves go forward so that creation can express itself by the will of the Father. Yes, because the Father says we are not to lean into suffering. No, 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 beloved. But you are to be fulfilled, and you are to be blessed. Yes, the Father wants to prosper you even as your soul prospers. So we got to make the soul light, and we got to get rid of these things that's down up in here. And that's why we do this here, so we could chop this shit up, because we don't do nothing but sit around and chop it up. But that's the purpose, so we can chop this shit up and get it out. Yeah, because we need to be light so that the Father can prosper us, so that we can do the will of the Father here. Because you already touched earth. I mean, you are a piece of heaven, are you not? And you touched down. Now we need to make sure that we are in alignment, because we done took on a whole bunch of stuff. And Erica say, "Back lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging round them bags like that. Hey, I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, it's you, it's you." Okay, come on, y'all. Keys to power. Those most misfortunates among us who have been brought down by circumstances beyond their control deserve all the help and sympathy we can give them. Yeah, those tenets of love, sympathy, empathy, leaning on to understanding so that we can give compassion, yes. But there are others who are not born to misfortune or unhappiness, but draw it upon themselves. Yeah. by their destructive actions and unsettling effect on others. Yeah, the fallen. They draw misfortune onto themselves. Yeah. And they spread that misfortune and unsettling effect on others. Come on, Sasha. But, it would be a great thing if we could raise them up. It would. It would be a great thing if we could raise up the fallen. It would. But, be wary of your own energy. It would be great if we could raise them up, change their patterns, but more often than not, it is their patterns that ends up getting inside and changing us. Have you ever got into a place or some people, or even a workplace, where you go in there and you got your whole system, a way of doing things, and then you fall in with the crew? You find work friends, and y'all start hanging out and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you start doing what they doing. And it's not necessarily according to your own good habits that have got you where you was at. I mean, because your habits is what you told them about, like, this is me, and this is what I do, and this is how I perform, and this is the value that I bring. And then they said, okay, we trust you and your expertise. We see that you rocking it out. You done did this before. Come on in here. We're going to give you the shot. And then you get in with the work crew, or with the work chicks, or the whole whatever. And then now you flowing how they flow. And you don't even look like you no more. Ever been through that? Come on in here. The reason is simple, Father says. Humans are extremely susceptible to the moods, emotions, and even the ways of thinking of those who they spend their time. So, who are you spending your time with? Are they reflecting what it is that's in your true self, your highest self? Are the behaviors representative of where you see yourself in life? Is that in line with your highest goal? Sometimes you got to change your room. Yeah, you have to change your room and get around people who are doing and looking like what it is that you are aspiring to. Not so that you could take on their way, but you can learn from them. Because we learn from what's around us. We take that on unto self. Yeah. So if you hanging around a whole bunch of people that are not very productive, and they're not happy, and they're miserable, and they seem to get bad luck all the time, you might want to look at removing yourself from that situation. Pulling back, fall back from that. Yeah, beloved. You might want to pull back and fall back from that. Yeah, sit yourself right on back. That's what Father says. Sit yourself right on back. And maybe just look and observe. Reserve your energy. Pull your energy back from that. Because again, you cannot help people pull themselves up. You can't drag nobody up. What's going to happen, beloved? They will pull you down. They will. So do not attach yourself to the unhappy and the misfortunate. Don't. If they are not putting in that same effort and energy to galvanize and propel themselves forward, leaning into the kingdom, that help, that fortitude, even if you don't call it kingdom, it's you, your highest self, that fortitude that's going to push you forward. You know that it's something within you in this space that you got what it takes to get it done. And then to hang around, if you have that disposition to hang around others that don't, it's going to sap that out of you. It's going to pull it out. Come on in here, let's get this rest of this here. The Spirit took us to the next page. Spirit says the wheat equals the fortunate. Yeah. It says to the wheat. Is that what it was? To the wheat. Yes. Fortunate equals joy. Yeah. People who have joy, who value intelligence, and who value a spirit of connectivity, connection. That's what Spirit wrote here in my notebook, in my notes here. Okay. And it says with authority, because we read the power, keys to power, right? It says the reason is simple. Humans are extremely susceptible to the moods, emotions, and even the ways of thinking of those whom they spend their time. Yes, the incurably unhappy and unstable have a particularly strong infecting power because their characters and emotions are so intense. Ooh, they so intense. Now get this one. They often present themselves as victims. Making it difficult at first to see their miseries as self-inflicted. Do you have people around you that have self-inflicted misery, but then they turn around and victimize themselves? Like, really? Now, come on now. Are you really linked into the resources that are available to you? Are you really linked into your own fortitude? How many nows go by that you have not optimized to productivity? Yet, we hear victim stories that make it difficult for us to really see the truth. But by the time you get attached to that and associated with it, you really realize that most of these things is called on to self. Yeah. And what do? Invest your time, all your nows, them seeds. Invest in all your nows and all of that nonsense for you to find out that it's self-inflicted at the end of the day. And it ain't nothing that you could do about that anyway. All it's going to do is pull you down and pull you into a bad state. Oh no. We don't do wrinkles. No. You got to hold on to your peace. Okay, come on. Spirit says. With authority. I know, Spirit. I'm sorry. I be getting off. That was Lottie. That, you know. Recognize the fortunate so that you may choose their company instead. Recognize the fortunate and choose their company. That don't mean leaning on to, the almighty dollar who look like they got this, that, and the other. But you can see characteristics. Characteristics are currency. And that is the real, beloved. That's the real. How do they operate on these principles of wisdom and principles of power? How do they dig into themselves to get through adversity and challenges? How do they face their fear? Do they beat it back with faith or do they lean into it, the fear and the doubt? You know, what happens when they are faced with that? That's why you got to give folks a couple of seasons. You know, you got to see how they're going to respond in the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter. Winter is coming. And folks want to keep warm. Source secret. Don't attach yourself to somebody that's miserable or unfortunate or unhappy. And if you unhappy in this moment and you feeling unfortunate, do your wheat a favor. Go to the Father. Attach yourself in the Spirit. Don't attach yourself to another wheat because that energy is infectious. And if you are not to good, then you just got to go to the Father so you can get good. And that's the space to sit for healing. Yes, come on in here and get this last one. Recognize the fortunate so that you may choose their company and the unfortunate so that you may avoid them. Yes, again, self-responsibility. We are responsible. If I know I am not in a good space, it is not on to me to call another into my life to make me feel good. That is looking for that feeling on the outside, for something else on the out to give me what I should be pulling out from the inside. And once you get to good from there, you will attract that same from the outside. You will be able to see what's coming at you. Because if you are not good on the inside, you're going to call in something that looks just like you. And it might feel good at the outset because, they know how to mask that character. They do. And because you both are so excited about somebody to make you feel a certain kind of way, it feels good for the day, for the moment. But what happens when that season change? What happens when winter comes and y'all close into this space together, attached? And you start catching his and he start catching yours, or whatever the case may be, who and versus what, that's the matched up in that energy. The ability to discern and to see, beloved, is impacted when you are not to good. You see through a veil. There's a film, there's a distortion, a disillusion over your sight. Because again, these eyes don't see fuck shit. They could be fine as wine right now, beloved, but get on up in there and that real close look. You be looking at that like, if they don't go something, I can't stand looking at you. And that's how it turns out. because the veil that you are looking through is distorted by misfortune, unhappiness, uneasiness, depression, anxiety, worry, faithlessness. Knowing that if you really get to good with self, going into the Father, going into you and self-discovery, self-development, so that you could be edified first. If you are edified so much that you can edify the source of God, the source of all, you ain't going to be looking for nothing from the outside to validate you or to feel you. You will be shedding off conformities left and right, things that do not align to your highest good. It will come natural to you. And what comes at you, you'll be able to see that thing like, oh no, that do not look like self. Oh no. And not self as the outside, but self as that inner spirit, that character currency will recognize itself. The spirit will discern. Yes, you will resonate. Okay? Misfortune is usually the crime of folly. And among those who suffer from it, there is no malady more contagious. Ooh, say that again. There's no malady more contagious. Meaning you just can, it spreads. And it just is nothing more binding and just like attaching to you than this. It never open your door to the least of misfortunes. And I believe the King James Version of the Bible talks about the fact that if a demon goes out and you let it return, it's likely to come back with 7 more demons. Don't let demons in your house. Even if it ain't come back, because look, this is getting winter. And oftentimes, they go on off. You done had them through a winter. And then that spring hit and it was like, And then they ran off for the summer and it's like, And now they done fell off because it's fall, And it's going to get cold again because winter is coming back. You might see some people trying to swing the block. They do. That's how that happens. Yeah, all 4 seasons we just ran through them. Yeah, and you found out the first time when you opened up your door to that demon. And you realized what it was. But then sometimes the fear of not having a connection, the fear of just the question, when is this it? Second guessing yourself, not leaning into what the Father has told you and being steadfast and firm. Really doing that extra shadow work. We have a video we just did recently about digging into that shadow work. Healing that inner child. Digging into any of the issues that may be causing you to repeat these same cycles, Father says. Really cleaning this stuff up and clearing it out. So that as you come out of winter, re-emerged, ready to plant new seeds in that lot, they will be good seed. Planting good seed. Yes. So what grows will be truly edifying onto self for the source. And then you can share that, in union and community. That spiritual connection, and it will be something that is born out of intelligence, the intelligence of self-discovery, and that lands on to joy, and it's shared joy. Yes, that is how we get to that 10 of Pentacles. But we got to put it through a season first so that you can see. Allow intelligence to have its way. It's got certainty and uncertainty baked in. And how you going to see how people respond through the uncertainty if you don't give them a season? I mean, we looking both to see if we are going to be aligned in purpose. Not just passion, but purpose. Are we passionate about aligning in purpose? Ooh, Father. Come on in here. We feel. Let's get it going. Father says, never open your door to the least of misfortunes, for if you do, many others will follow in its train. Do not die of another's misery. Do not die of another's misery. The misfortune tears equals the conformity of the flesh of this plane. That there are spirits here, the fallen, who do look to seek to suck your light and to drag you down. Yeah, that's the intention. They know they can't go. They know they can't enter. And they seek to have as much company as they can. Yeah, they do, Father. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Was there anything that you'd like to say to your we? Nope, we got it out. Is there any cards you would like to pull today? Nope, we got that out too. Well, I guess this is the episode today then, y'all. Because we sure didn't pull we didn't even ask. We just did. Father said, no, we good. And that was the lesson. Number 10. Don't attach yourself to other people's misery. Them demons is out here. They will suck and pull you down, beloved. They will. And they have no shame about doing it. None. Why? Because even if we look at this on a spiritual level, again, the battle for heaven rages on. And if heaven has touched earth and it resides in the earth in this earthly flesh, then the battle for you, beloved, is still on. Which team are you playing on? I mean, because you ain't got to get into nobody's religion. We could just say the battle for your highest good. Because you have a tear side and a weak side. What do we say? Both flat, the duality. Yes, the duality exists. Are you being your own tear? Are you leaning into your highest good? Are you doing your best even when you don't feel like it? Or do you decide I don't feel like it, so I'm just not? And if that be the attitude, and you prefer that way, then you might see yourself as the tear of the day. Just saying. But you could change what you're being by changing your decisions. And whatever that you're doing at any time. You can change that, beloved. You can. Anytime you can change your mind. Because free will and the freedom of choice is always a thing. It's always a thing. We can always decide, I'm no longer going to associate myself with miserable people. If you are not a happy person or leaning into joy, I'm going to joyfully exclude myself from that. And that's totally okay. Sometimes it may make me feel a little isolated, though. Yeah. It may make me have to move into a whole different space. Yeah. I might have to get myself from away from this and detach from that. Because it doesn't feel good. It makes me sad. You know, it makes me depressed. And I really don't even have the energy to want to do anything. It's sapping my desires. And the things that I am desiring are not good onto my productivity for me to reach my highest self. It's not good onto my road of self-discovery. And I can feel it. My spirit of counsel is telling me that there's more. That my soul desires more. That I was called for more. That the Most High God sent me from heaven to live and reside in this flesh. And in order to operate in such a capacity that the Father's will be done, I must move around from here. I must journey. I must go. If that be you, beloved, know that it is okay. Know that the Father is with you. You have a spirit with you, honey. And when we started by saying that the Father inhabits the throne, yes, the throne on the kingdom. Your kingdom is here, and the Father sits on the throne of your praise. Praise Him in all things. Acknowledge the source of self in all things. Looking at self, how can we get through this? How can we solution? We are able to respond. And we can do that from a creative space. If we detach from the emotion that I feel, I feel the emotion so that I know it's something they're driving, something digging, something prompting, something, getting my attention, something calling to me in that. Let me recognize it. And then I release the emotion and move into creative response. Release the emotion, the attachment, move into creative response. That way we don't be stuck. Because Father says Israel is stuck. We are stuck. And we are round and around and around and around. There must be ones that break out and move away from the cycles of the patterns. There must be. Because when those ones start to break off and detach from the things that do not serve the community, others will take notice. Others will be brazen enough to follow suit. And this isn't just physicality moving, it is mentality, it is mindset moving. Mindset moving. And a lot of times it's physicality. Don't open up your doors to these demons. Attaching yourself to the things that are coming in with these sad stories and victim stories. Inquire. Empowering minds want to know. Yeah, asking them empowering questions. Yeah, because we need to know. How is it that you ended up with no place to stay? Pray tell. How is it that you still living with, at your mama house? Whoever. It don't matter. This ain't got no gender. How is it that you still dig deeper? Father said, dig deeper. If you are not showing, you might want to be careful about what you let in your door, because they going to bring 7 more. Then you be sitting up there like Miss Badu when she said, I think you better call Tyrone. Call him and tell him I said, come on, help you get your You need to call Tyrone. Call him. But you can't use my phone. Gone, Erica. She was for real with that. Why? Because she had let somebody come up in there over them winter months, keep her warm. But what happened? Brought about 7 more of them things up in there with him. And he called all of them and tell them help you come get your shit. This has been today's episode, y'all, on Tears and Wheat to Roast Show. Again, you come around here, you never know what you're going to get. Life is showing up like a box of chocolates. Yes, going on Tom Hanks, which I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Guess what else, y'all? I love y'all. I love each and every one of y'all. Each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. I got to stop tapping. Father says don't do that. I'll be so excited, y'all. Seriously. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you just like I love me. I have such a great time in here, y'all, doing this. I tell you, it is like the most exciting part of my day. I absolutely love it. I love it. And I didn't even think that I would. I was so nervous at first to even show my hands and even speak. Now we all out here just like this. Like, yes, come on in here, wheat. Join the wheat field. If this is a message that you care about, share it out. If you vibed, subscribe. Yes. Only thing we do is come in here and chop it up. I told you sometimes it could be slow, sometimes it could be thick. We might get warmed up. It might be a pot roast. It might stay slow and low on the cooker. We just never know what the Father gonna do. We just let the Father come in and do his thing. I mean, because heaven touched earth. I mean, it's in here. And it's aligned to the Father's will. I mean, because that is why we came. So that heaven can come to earth. So that it shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. Yes. And as I know that we commune in community in heaven. And we all, praise the Most High God. Our source, our creator. Yes, we do. And yeah, that's just what it is. And I'm glad that y'all come here around this space and do that with me and join me. I am most humbled. I am. I don't take any one of you for granted. Every single one of you, I am so graciously grateful for you. And I thank you. And to the next now on the Tears and Wheat to Roast Show with your girl Lati here. It's an Ashe. Mwah.